If you think you're automatically getting a $2,000 stimulus check just because the president mentioned it, you need to hear this right now because 2025 is going to determine whether you get that money or not. Listen carefully because what I'm about to explain is something almost nobody else is talking about. Yes, the president did mention these payments might arrive sometime in mid-2026. But here's what's critical. Your eligibility for that $2,000 dividend payment, as they're calling it, is going to be determined by your 2025 income information. Not 2026, not when the payment arrives, your 2025 data. And if you don't understand how this works, you could miss out on $2,000 that should be yours. I'm seeing so many people in the comments saying, I don't file a tax return so I won't get it, or I'm on Social Security, they're going to leave us out again. Stop right there. That's not how this works, and I need to clear this up once and for all. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how eligibility is determined for this payment. You'll know why 2025 matters more than any other year. You'll understand what income thresholds to watch for. And most importantly, you'll know for certain whether you qualify, regardless of whether you file a tax return or live solely on Social Security. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Tony, and I've spent over 9 months helping seniors, retirees, and Social Security beneficiaries navigate government benefits and stimulus payments. I break down the complicated government language into plain English, so you know exactly what's happening and what it means for your wallet. I'm here to advocate for you, represent you, and make sure you get every dollar you're entitled to. Today I'm covering 2 critical things. First, I'm going to explain exactly how the government determines eligibility using historical data from the last stimulus checks. Second, I'm going to tell you the specific income numbers you need to know for 2025 and why Social Security recipients don't need to worry about tax returns. This is important information, so let's get into it. Let's start with the timeline, because there's some confusion out there. A few weeks ago, the president indicated that these $2,000 dividend payments would likely arrive sometime in mid-2026. Now, I want to be clear about something. This is a preliminary timeline. The actual payment could come any time between now and November of 2026. We're still waiting for more specific details from the Treasury Department. But here's what you need to understand, and this is the most important part. Even though the payment might not arrive until 2026, they're going to use your 2025 income to determine if you're eligible. How do I know this? Because I'm using historical data from what they did during the pandemic with the 3 stimulus checks we received in 2020 and 2021. Remember those: the $1,200 check, the $600 check, and the $1,400 check. A total of $3,200 in stimulus payments. Here's what the government did back then, and this is exactly what they're going to do this time. They used prior year tax returns to determine somebody's eligibility. Let me give you a practical example so this makes sense. Let's say, hypothetically, that the payment is scheduled to arrive on August 1st, 2026. I'm just making up this date as an example. If they're sending payments in August of 2026, they cannot use 2026 income data. Why? Because the year isn't over yet. They don't know what your full year income is going to be. So what do? They look at the prior year's income. They would use your 2025 income data to determine your eligibility for a payment arriving in 2026. This is exactly what they did in 2020 and 2021. When they sent those stimulus checks, they used prior year income data that was reported to the Treasury and the IRS. Now here's the critical income information you need to know. The Treasury Secretary indicated a few weeks ago that people with income under $100,000 would be eligible. However, I personally believe that number is going to come down. Based on historical patterns, I anticipate the threshold will be $75,000 for an individual and $150,000 for a married couple filing jointly. We'll see about that as more information comes out, but those are the numbers I would be paying attention to. So here's my question to you. In 2025, is your income going to be below $75,000 as an individual or below $150,000 as a married couple? If the answer is yes, there's a very, very high likelihood that you're eligible for this payment. Now I need to address something that I see in the comments every single day, and it's driving people crazy with worry. I don't file a tax return. Does that mean I won't get the payment? No, absolutely not. Let me be crystal clear about this. It has nothing to do with whether you file a tax return. Nothing. It's about your income. That's it. That's all they care about. The government doesn't care if you file a tax return. What they care about is, what is your income? Here's how this actually works, and this is going to put your mind at ease. If you don't file a tax return, that tells the government that your income is below the standard deduction. In the eyes of the IRS, if you don't file a return, your income is essentially zero or very low. And guess what? That means you're definitely under the income threshold. But here's the really important part that nobody else is explaining. Social Security automatically supplies your income information to the IRS. They have to. It's called an SSA 1099 form, or SSA 1042S. Every single entity that pays you money has to file this documentation with the IRS. So when Social Security sends you your monthly benefit, they're also reporting to the IRS. We paid this person X amount of dollars in 2025. The IRS receives that information automatically. Let me give you an example. Let's say Social Security pays you $15,000 in 2025. They file a form with the IRS that says, "We paid Joe Smith $15,000 in 2025. The IRS now knows your income was $15,000. They don't need you to file a tax return. They already have your information. Now, let me explain how Social Security beneficiaries receive their stimulus checks in 2020 and 2021, because this is exactly what's going to happen again. Social Security literally supplies a file of all beneficiary data to the Treasury Department. This file includes your name, your address, your date of birth, your Social Security number, your banking information for direct deposit. This is how you received those 3 stimulus checks in 2020 and 2021, even if you didn't file a tax return. Social Security provided all your information to the Treasury, and they automatically deposited the money into your account. Did you file a tax return back then? Probably not, right? Did you still get your $1,200, your $600, and your $1,400? Yes, you did. This is going to work the exact same way. If you're receiving Social Security benefits, the government already has all your information. They know who you are, where you live, and where to send your money. Now let me be completely honest with you about something, because I think we're all adults here and we can speak plainly. These payments are happening before the midterm elections. That's not a secret. That's not a conspiracy theory. That's just political reality. This is what's called a stimulus payment or dividend payment. But let's be real about what it is. So let me ask you this logically. Do you think they're going to give everybody a check except seniors? Except Social Security recipients? Except people with disabilities? That would be the most ridiculous thing in the world. Why? Because who shows up to vote in the largest numbers? Seniors, retirees, Social Security beneficiaries, people with disabilities. They're not going to exclude the people who vote the most. That makes zero political sense. This payment is based purely on income. If your income is below the threshold, you're eligible. It doesn't matter if you're 25 years old working a job or 75 years old receiving Social Security. Income is the only factor. Let me share something from my experience covering these programs for years. Every single stimulus payment, every relief payment, every economic impact payment that the government has sent out has been based on one thing: income. That's it. They don't say, if you're a senior, you're excluded. They don't say, if you only get Social Security, you're not eligible. They look at your income, and if you're under the threshold, you get the money. The Treasury Secretary has already made this clear. He said people under a certain income level will be eligible. He didn't say working people or taxpayers. He said people under a certain income. If you're living on Social Security, your income is almost certainly below $75,000 a year. That means you're eligible, period. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Don't let worry keep you up at night. And please, stop thinking that you need to file a tax return to get this money. The government already knows everything about you if you're receiving Social Security. Let me summarize the key income information one more time because this is what determines everything. Based on preliminary information from the Treasury Secretary, the initial threshold mentioned was $100,000 for individuals. I believe this will likely come down to $75,000 for individuals and $150,000 for married couples. This is based on patterns from previous stimulus payments. Your 2025 income is what matters, not your 2026 income. Your 2025 income. If your 2025 income is below these thresholds, you should be eligible for the $2,000 payment when it arrives, likely sometime in mid-2026. Here's what I recommend you do today to prepare. Number 1. Know your income. You don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell anyone. Just know for yourself. Is my income below $75,000 this year? Number 2. Make sure your information is up to date with Social Security. Confirm your address is current, your direct deposit information is active, and your phone number is correct. Number 3. If you receive any other income besides Social Security and you're close to that $75,000 threshold, keep track of your total income for 2025. Number 4. Watch out for scams. The government will never call you asking for personal information. If someone contacts you saying they need your Social Security number or bank account to release your stimulus check, hang up immediately. That's a scam. Now I need your help with something. I see comments every single day from people who are worried they won't get this payment because they don't file a tax return. I want you to drop a comment below and let me know. Does this explanation make sense? Do you feel better understanding how this actually works? Your comments help me know what content you need, and they help other people who are reading through the comments and have the same questions. If this video helped clear things up for you, please hit that subscribe button. It's 100% free. There's a big subscribe button right down below. We're covering these updates constantly as more information comes out, and I don't want you to miss anything important. Also, please share this video. Use that share button down below. So many people are confused about this, and you could be the person who helps someone understand they're actually eligible for this money. I see people all the time saying they're going to screw Social Security recipients again or seniors never get anything. That's not what's happening here. This is based purely on income. And if you understand how it works, you'll see that you're very likely eligible. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I know there's a lot of confusing information out there, and I'm trying my best to cut through the noise and give you the facts based on how these programs have actually worked in the past. Before you go, let me say this. I'm here for you. This is my dedication, my promise, my commitment to you. I'm here to represent you, to advocate for you, and to help you understand what's happening with your benefits. Over the last several months, I've been helping people maximize their monthly benefits and take advantage of anything that's available to get more money in your pocket. Because honestly, my favorite word is free, and my favorite price in the whole world is free. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. This is a massively busy time with everything that's happening, and there's going to be more information coming out about these payments in the coming weeks and months. Please hit that like button if this video was helpful. It tells YouTube to share this content with more people who need this information. And remember, don't let anyone tell you that you're not eligible just because you're on Social Security or because you don't file a tax return. That's not how this works. It's about income, and your income is almost certainly below the threshold. My next video is going to cover the exact timeline for when these payments might arrive and what signs to watch for from the Treasury Department. Thanks again for being here. Have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.